Yeah, so we come out of that scene, the music fades, and then Arab and Baby John are going to meet in the middle um, on the ground level, and they're going to be out of breath, all right, because you guys have been running. So let me pull up this stage, and I'll tell you how that's going to happen. Scheduling made easy. All right, so you've both, or everyone's mostly has exited stage right. Arab is going to go all the way back around to here. Baby John, not as far. So Baby John is going to hang out here. And then you guys are going to meet in the middle. Here, right in center lot, right? You're out of breath because you've been running. And maybe you like literally will be out of breath. So that might be good. Arab says, they get you yet? No, you? Hell no. You seen Tony? Nobody has. Oh, here comes Kobe. You been home yet? Me either. Just hiding around. Arab, did you get a good look at him? Did you wait? What does it say? Did you get a look at them? Look at who? You know, at the Rumble, Riff and Bernardo. I wish it was yesterday. What did you say? We run away. What's the matter? You scared? Okay, so at that moment, they're still panting, right? They're out of breath. What's the matter? You scared? And then Baby John pulls himself together. He stops panting. Yeah. Okay, so he's going to make that realization. It could be funny. Then Arab says, you cut it out. You hear? You only make me scared because that scares me. We hear a police whistle, and then he grabs Baby John. So I just, it says grabs Baby John, but I want you guys to kind of huddle a little bit closer. Last thing ever is to let a cop know you're scared or anything. And then at that moment, we hear Krupke off stage, and he says, hey, you too. All right, so Krupke is going to come from here, okay, which is lot left. All right, so now we have Krupke right about here. So he's going to say, hey, you, as he's coming in. And then Arab and Baby John are still center lot. Arab says, play it big with the baby blues. And then so Arab kind of straightens up and makes himself look a little bit more confident. Baby John hasn't quite done that yet. He says, okay. And then Arab, big, not scared, big. All right. And then at that point, Baby John will kind of straighten up and become a little bit more confident. And then they will kind of turn around and start walking this way as Krupke's still coming this way. And then Krupke says, yeah, you. Okay. So they stop, and let's get you guys to stop right about there. Krupke's going to stop right about there on that line. Yeah, you. Okay. So again, I just want to make this clear. You guys turn and walk after you big, not scared, big. You start take a few steps this way facing upstage. And then Krupke says, yeah, you. And then they immediately stop and turn around. And now they're kind of facing Krupke. Now Krupke is going to be here. You guys are going to be here. So you're kind of facing each other now. Yeah, you. And then so that's when they turn around. They say, why, it's Officer Krupke, Baby John. And then so you can walk at that point back to center lot. So now The two boys are there. Krupke's still here. So Krupke's kind of stopped short of. Oh, here comes Gavin. Good. All right, top of the evening, Officer Krupke. I'll crack the top of your skulls if you punks don't stop when I whistle. But we stopped the very moment we heard. We got 20/20 hearing. You want to get hauled down to the station house? Indeed not, sir. Okay. And at this point, when Krupke says, I'll make a little deal, Krupke, that's when you're going to approach them and come a little bit closer. So on that line, I'll make a little deal. I know you was rumbling under the highway, and maybe you're kind of, you know, with your billy club. And then they say, we was at the playground, sir. And then these next few lines, I want Arab and Baby John to be kind of looking. I want you to be looking at each other like you're having this conversation amongst yourselves. So you're looking at each other. We like the playground. It keeps us deprived kids off the foul streets, like with big smiles, right? And Baby John says, it gives us comradeship, a place for pleasant pastimes. And for us, born like we was on the hot pavements. All right. So you're not looking at Krupke, you're looking at each other. Krupke's annoyed. He says, okay, Wyatt Zapples, down to the station house. Baby John says, which way? Arab shouts, this way, and then he takes off. All right. So Arab is going to take off this way, past Krupke. Okay. So Krupke's still standing here. Now, Krupke's going to take off after him this way. And then he's going to turn back to Baby John and kind of turn around here and hesitate, look at Baby John. At that point, Baby John's going to take off this way. So he's going to hesitate, go this way a little bit, realize that Baby John's already too far, and then he's going to head back this way. But meanwhile, now Arab has kind of hidden right here by the stage. Okay, so he's going to hide maybe like right by these steps, crouch down. I mean, it can be obvious. It doesn't matter. And then Krupke is going to continue this way off stage. All right. And then once Krupke passes Arab, Arab will come back down to center, who's going to meet Baby John back in the center. Okay. So now we've got Baby John and Arab back in center lot, and Krupke is successfully off stage now, blowing his whistle, running after, he thinks, Arab. Okay, I'll give you guys a second to catch up.
I have a question, James.
Yeah.
I'm probably not gonna get as far in running as I assume Arab is, since he started first. Do you want me to just basically huddle in the same spot that he was in as well?
Yeah, in fact, you might not even need to make it that far, because you're gonna, because you're gonna take off this way. Krupke's gonna turn around and maybe take a few steps that way, but realize that he's not gonna get you. So then he turns back around and goes again towards Arab, who's now hiding over here. So you'll probably only make it maybe that far.
Cool.
Yeah. All right. So at that point, all of the other jets are gonna join up with Arab and Baby John. So you guys can run on. You're gonna run on from lot right. All right, so those two have met back in the middle again. In fact, Action, you can go back here with Baby John. So the two of you can come back together to meet Arab back here. And then the rest of you can follow shortly after. That would probably be best.
So does that mean you want me to continue up until I meet Action and then bring him down, or kind of like, oh,
Yeah,
bump
you
into
guys
each other?
can. Yeah, you guys can run into each other wherever that may be with the timing, like maybe right here, and then come back together once you see that Krupke's, running the other way now.
Gotcha.
Yeah. All right. Arab says, "Look at that brass ass run. I hope he breaks it." And then Action's there now. He says, "Get the lead out, fat boy." Right. You can even use your hand to kind of like shout that out to him. Easy. He'll come back and drag us down to the station. All right. Action says, "I already been." All right. So now by this point, we're all kind of congregated right there. We both already been. What happened? A big fat nothing. How come? Cops believe everything they read in the papers. To them, we ain't human. We're cruddy juvenile delinquents. So that's what we give them. All right, and then the music starts. And this is where it's gonna get fun. All right. Bum, 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 ba, da, 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 bum. All right. So Snowboy is imitating Krupke. Hey, you. Action is pretending to be an officer, or he's pretend. No, he's himself. Snowboy's imitating Krupke. Right, and that's how this song begins. Hey, you, me, Officer Krupke? Yeah, give me one good reason for not dragging you down to the station house, you punk. All right, so a few of you are playing different type of characters. We're not going to give you props or any different costumes to, portray that. So what I'd like you to do is come up with a silly voice for that character. So if you're playing, whoever's playing Krupke, so Snowboy, who's imitating Krupke, it doesn't have to be, I just want you to do it in kind of a lower voice, like you're trying to be an adult, right? Diesel is acting as a judge. Arab plays the psychiatrist. Somebody plays a social worker. Baby John, right? So I want you guys to come up with your own kind of voice for those characters to make something work. All right, I'll leave that up to you. Before we start this song, Danny, Officer Krupke, you're not in the song, so let's run this scene with you, and then you don't have to be here for the rest of the blocking. So, all right, we'll start. We'll start back at the top of page 91. The music fades out, the lights come up on the lot, and Arab and Baby John enter. So whenever you're ready, Arab.
I don't think Arab is
Oh,
here.
it's not here yet.
I was just gonna say. Oh, that's Cole, right?
James Rabb.
James Rabb. Gavin, could you cover for Arab right now? That makes sense, right? No? Am I?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. All right. So go ahead when you're ready.
Sorry, my internet's being weird.
That's right.
Give me 1 second. Sorry, yeah, I have the script open, but like there's nothing on it. Like it's like constant loading.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Who else doesn't have lines right now? Zoe. Yeah.
Okay.
I could sense you guys were talking about it, huh?
I was
Yeah.
gonna get her to do it. Yeah.
Wait, who am I? A-Rab?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. They get you yet?
No. You?
Hell no.
You seen Tony?
Nobody has.
Jeez.
You get
Okay,
home
now
yet? You been home?
so Luke, really be out of breath. Make this kind of over the top. Like you guys have just been. You're out of breath. So keep that in mind. All right. So Zoe, go ahead and start again.
This one.
They get you yet?
No. You?
Hell no.
You seen Tony?
Nobody has.
Jeez.
You been home yet?
Uh-uh.
Me either.
Just hiding around?
Uh-huh.
A-Rab, did you get a look at him?
Look at who?
You know, at the Rumble, Rafe and Bernardo.
I wish it was yesterday.
What do you say we run away?
What's the matter? You scared?
Yeah.
You cut it out, you hear? You're only making me scared, and that scares me. Last thing ever is to let a cop know you're scared or anything.
Hey, you two.
Play it big with the baby blues.
Oh, okay.
Big, not scared. Big.
Yeah, you.
Why is it Officer Krupke, baby John?
Top of the evening, Officer Krupke.
I'll crack the top of your skulls if you punks don't stop when I whistle.
But we stopped the very moment we heard.
Yeah, we got 20/20 hearing.
Aw, you want to go hauled down to the station house?
Indeed not, sir.
I'll make a little deal. Stepping. I know you was rumbling under the highway.
No, we was at the playground, sir.
We like the playground. It keeps us deprived kids off the fouled streets.
It gives us comradeship.
A place for pleasant pastime. And for us, born like we was on the hot pavements.
Okay, wise apples. Down to the station house.
Which way?
This way. Look at that brass ass run.
I hope he breaks it.
Get the lead out, fat boy.
Easy. He'll come back and drag us down to the station.
I already been.
We both already been.
What happened?
A big fat nothing.
How come?
Cops believe everything they read in papers.
To them, we ain't human. We're cruddy juvenile delinquents. So that's what we give them.
Hey, you.
Me, Officer Krupke?
Yeah, you. Give me one good reason for not dragging you down to the station house, you punk.
All right, good. Let's pause there and go back. All right, so all right, so that was good. I want to do it one more time. Trying to give you some thoughts, but I don't really have any. It's just play with it a little bit more. Zoe, do you want me to read Baby John? Or do you want to do it again?
If you want, I can do it again. It's okay.
Okay. All right, when you're ready.
Okay. They get you yet?
No. You?
Hell no.
You seen Tony?
Nobody has.
Jeez.
You been home yet?
Uh-uh.
Me either.
Just hiding around.
Uh-huh.
A-Rab, did you get a look at him?
Look at who?
You know, at the Rumble with Andy Bernardo.
I wish it was yesterday.
What do you say we run away?
What's the matter? You scared?
Yeah.
You cut it out, you hear? You're only making me scared, and that scares me. Last thing ever is to let a cop know you're scared or anything.
Hey, you two.
Play it big with the baby blues.
Oh, okay.
Big, not scared. Big.
Yeah, you.
Why is it Officer Krupke, Baby John?
Oh, top of the evening, Officer Krupke.
I'll crack the top of your skulls if you punks don't stop when I whistle.
But we stopped the very moment we heard.
Yeah, we got 20/20 hearing.
Oh, you want to get hauled down to the station house?
Indeed not, sir.
I'll make a little deal. I know you was rumbling under the highway.
He was at the playground, sir.
We like the playground. It keeps us deprived kids off the fouled streets.
It gives us comradeship.
A place for pleasant pastime, and for us born like we was on the hot pavements.
Okay, wise apples, down to the station house.
Which way?
This way. Look at that brass ass run.
I hope he breaks it.
And get the lead out, fat boy.
Easy, you'll come back and drag us down to the station house.
Already been.
We both already been.
What happened?
A big fat nothing.
How come?
Cops believe everything they read in the papers.
To them, we ain't human. We're just juvenile delinquents. So that's what we give them.
Hey, you.
Me, Officer Krupke?
Yeah, you. Give me one good reason not for not dragging you down to the station house, you punk.
All right. Good. So, Griffin, can you like, can you like lower your voice? Like, hey, you.
Yeah, okay.
Try something like that. We got to get you in a different voice so we can see that you're imitating.
Yeah, okay.
So yeah, do that. Yeah, do that. Hey, you again. That hey, you again, and then action, and then you again. So,
Okay.
so try that one more time.
All right. Hey, you.
Me, Officer Krupke?
Yeah, you. Give me one good reason for not dragging you down to the station house, you punk.
Okay, better. Better.
I'll work
All right,
on it.
All right. So does that scene make sense? Pretty straightforward,
Yes.
right? Yeah. We'll just when we get on stage, it's gonna be a lot of it's gonna be about the timing and how long it takes Krupke to get off stage versus everyone coming back on and all of that. But that's the gist of it. So good. Which means Danny, if you don't have any questions, you're good to go for tonight.
Nope, you pretty much answered all of my questions today. Thank you.
Wait, pretty much, not all the way?
Oh, well, I mean, yes, all the way.
Okay.
I still have the other stuff that I'm involved with, like the first scene and all that.
Oh, yes.
I'll probably get a look at the stage. You have the recording for back then, right?
Yeah, so if you look at the schedule that I've posted, it should, the schedule has the page numbers on it. So if you're on that page number, you can go to that date that's on the schedule, which will correspond with the video that's on YouTube, and you can look at the blocking for that. Try that. If you have any questions about it, we could do a one-on-one Zoom this week, and I can walk you through some of that stuff. But just let me know if that's what.
All
you want
right,
to do.
I'll get in contact with you just in case.
Okay, perfect. Thanks, Danny. Have a great night.
All right, thanks. You too. Bye.
Bye. All right, so we've left off with, hey, you, me, Officer Krupke? Yeah, you, give me one good reason for not dragging you down to the station house, you punk. And so the music has started at this point, and let me tell you guys where use is gonna be going. All right, so we're all right about here. Now, Snowboy and Action, what you should do on these two lines is make sure that you're seen. Although it's going to be kind of interesting how this looks from different angles, because we're going to have people watching from here, 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 and here. So it's kind of like in the round at this point. So you guys are going to have to stay cognizant of that in terms of how you're playing and how you're turned. So I'm okay. I mean, your back's going to have to be toward, some audience, but that's okay as long as you guys play it big enough that the people can see what's going on. So you guys can kind of have this little conversation at the beginning here, sort of in the middle of the group, as the group steps out a little bit, so people can see, hey, you, me, Officer Krupke, hey, you, blah, 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 right? And then Action starts this song, Dear Kindly Sergeant Krupke, you got to understand, right? So on that line, Joseph, you're going to run up to downstage center, okay? Yeah, give me, hang on just a second. Give me one good reason for you that. I'm trying to think of how much music there is. There's not much. But there's some, because you can hold, if you've listened to the music, you'll know that it gives you a lot of time to say, Dear Kindly, and then it starts. So you can use that first part, Dear, and then run up here to downstage center. So you're on top of that step there. Dear Kindly Sergeant Krupke, you got to understand it's just a bring up key that gets us out of hand. Our mother's all junkies, our father's all drunks. Golly Moses, not only punks. All right. So
I have a question about that.
yes.
So I know that in that music at some point, I get like hit in the head, right?
Possibly. I mean,
okay. Yeah, I just wanted to get the timing, because like I didn't know if you wanted me to get hit and then run, or run and then get hit, like that sort of thing.
Oh, if you're talking about like getting hit at this point, are you talking about like right now in this part of the song?
Yeah, because like he gets hit a few times when he says dear, I think.
Oh, yeah, no, we're not doing that.
Okay.
There will be an opportunity for the others to slap you in the head, though. We'll talk about that later.
Okay.
I mean, not like really, but so yeah, you'll use that dear. Oh, it's coming in 7:35 already. Wow. Dear, and then you run up to downstage center and then turn around and face the audience, and then you deliver that part. Golly Moses, naturally we're punks. All right, so the rest of you are in your group down here. You're looking at Action singing that part, but as soon as you all break into that song, gee, Officer Krupke, we're very upset. So at that moment on G, you're all going to turn around and face out this way. Okay, so now you're singing to the car audience. Gee, Officer Krupke, we're very upset. We never had the love that every child ought to get. When the delinquents were understood, deep down inside of us, there's good. And then Action, you also join back up with the group on that part. So you can use, when they turn around and start singing, you're singing too, but as you're singing that part, go back and join the group. Deep down inside of us, there's good, there's good, there's good, there's untapped good, like inside the worst of us is good. All right, so then at this point, we go into a little bit more dialogue, and Action and Snowboy are going to turn to face each other. Snowboy as Krupke. That's a touching good story. Let me tell it to the world. Just tell it to the judge. All right, so at this point, Snowboy, what I want you to do as Krupke is I want you to push him down to the ground. Just tell it to the judge. So Joseph, what you're gonna do is you'll kind of fall right here. So I want your head facing up this way. I want you, the way I want you to end up is I want you flat on your back singing this. So you're lying on the ground as you sing, dear kindly judge your honor, my parents treat me rough. Okay, so you're literally like head facing north toward the cars, feet facing toward the stage, on your back, starting that song. Dear kindly judge your honor, my parents treat me rough with all their marijuana, they won't give me a puff. All right, so on the line with all their marijuana, then you can sit up and then simulate. With all their marijuana, they won't give me a puff. They didn't want to have me, but somehow I was had. And then on Leaping Lizards, you're going to jump back up to your feet. Leaping Lizards, that's why I'm so bad. All right, and then we go into Diesel's part. So Diesel, you're going to bring action up to Snowboy. Right, Officer Krupke, you're really a square. This boy don't need a judge, he needs an analyst care. All right, so at this point, you're kind of dragging action back to Krupke to explain this part. This boy don't need a judge, he needs an analyst care. It's just his neurosis that ought to be curbed. He's psychologically disturbed. I'm disturbed. We're disturbed. We're disturbed. Okay. So action says I'm disturbed. And then everyone breaks into, we're disturbed, we're disturbed. We're the most disturbed, like we're psychologically disturbed. All right. So I know it says group 1 and group 2, but I want everyone singing both of those. So action says, I'm disturbed, we're disturbed, we're disturbed. We're the most disturbed, like we're psychologically disturbed. All right. So, but on that, we're disturbed, we're disturbed. I kind of want you like in a funny little march. So like, we're disturbed, we're the most disturbed, right? Just kind of moving around in a march like that. Like we're psychologically disturbed. And then I want you to fall to the ground. I may change that depending on how it looks. But at this point on that last disturbed, like we're psychologically disturbed, I want you to all fall on the ground into place.
I have a random question, James.
Okay.
When I did West Side Story a few years ago, we, for some reason, decided that only for this verse, we said coibed and disturbed. Do you want us to be saying disturbed to make fun of the accent, or do you want us to actually say disturbed?
I don't know. That's a good question. Because you're right, I have heard it sung that way. McKenna Michael Bisaha. Who the hell is that? That must be Laura. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. Let me think about that, Luke. That's a good question. Can you all say it that way? Okay. Yeah, when we get into person, we sing this song. Let's try that. And then Scott's gonna have an opinion on that too. So I might let him make that decision, but we'll bring that to his attention when we sing it together. All right. Now everyone's fallen onto the ground. Diesel, as the judge, is gonna jump up to deliver his line. Hear ye. In the opinion of this court, this child is depraved on account he ain't had a normal home. And then action's going to jump up. Hey, so I'm depraved on account I'm deprived, right? So take him to a head shrinker. Okay. So let's see. So action, what you're going to do is you're going to go around to all the rest of them that are still on the ground. And you're gonna be saying these lines. My father is a bastard. My mom's an SOB. My grandpa always plastered. My grandma pushes tea. My sister was a must. Yeah, my brother was a dress. Goodness gracious, that's why I'm a mess. All right, so I want you to kind of go around to each of them on this line and just kind of like ad lib some gestures to them, like a kick or a punch or a like take him by the shirt sort of thing. My grandpa's always plastered, or whatever it is, right? Goodness gracious, that's why I'm a mess. Yes. All right, and then Arab and Snowboy jump up. Yep. So now Arab is the psychiatrist. So whatever voice you're going to use for that, Arab. Takes, so, hang on, let me catch up with myself. So Arab, yeah, is going to take action to Snowboy. So Snowboy's already stood. Now during that, as action's going around to the different guys laying on the ground, you can just be standing there with your arms crossed like you're a judge, right? But then, sorry. Arab, so then Arab's going to take action. He's going to kind of drag him over to Snowboy. Officer Krupke, you're really a slob. This boy don't need it, doctor. Just a good, honest job. Society's played him a terrible trick. And sociologically, he's sick. I am sick. We are sick. We are sick. We are sick, sick, sick. All right. So at that point, again, I know it says group 1 and group 2, but you're all going to be singing it. We are sick. We are sick. We are sick, sick, sick. Like we're so logically just sick. So I can't say that. So on those, we are sick, we are sick. The rest of you are going to jump up off the ground, and now we're all standing again. However, Baby John, I need you to end up further upstage. So you guys are kind of going to be doing this all right here. But Baby John, when you jump up, we are sick, we are sick, we are sick, 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 blah, blah, blah. I want you to kind of end up as far upstage as you can without it looking awkward. Okay. Because that's going to make sense here in a moment. Arab says, in my opinion, this child don't need to have his head shrunk at all. Juvenile delinquency is purely a social disease. Hey, I got a social disease. Now Arab is going to take or kind of drag action up to Baby John, right? And that's the point of getting Baby John up there. So take him to a social worker. All right, so they run to Baby John upstage, and then this is where action. This is where action's going to be pleading with Baby John. Dear kindly social worker, they say go earn a buck, like be a social jerker, which means like be a schmuck. It's not I'm anti-social. I'm only into work, Glorioski. That's why I'm a jerk. All right. So that's happening then. So that's happening kind of right here. So that's action and Baby John and Arab. So what I'd like to see is, let me clear this. Now let me zoom in a little bit. All right, so I want action a little bit downstage, and then Baby John kind of off center behind him, and then Arab off center on the other side. Okay, so this is how you should end up at Glorioski. That's why I'm a jerk. Okay, now Baby John as a social worker, it says in falsetto as a female social worker, Baby John, I don't care what your voice ends up as, just as long as it's different and it's a character of some sort. Okay.
I talked with Scott about that too.
Oh, you did? Okay, so you have something in mind?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, perfect. But either way, that's how I want you guys to end up right there. Because then you'll be singing a little bit behind action. Eek, Officer Krupke, you done it again. This boy don't need a job, he needs a year on the pen. It ain't just a question of misunderstood. Deep down inside of him, he's no good. I'm no good. We're no good. Okay, the rest move upstairs. Okay, yeah. So at this point, the rest of you are going to move upstage to join them. Now, this whole time you've been turned upstage watching this happen. It's okay for you guys to follow what those of you who don't have specific direction, just kind of watch and laugh about what's going on. So you're watching from lower down in the lot. You're kind of watching this stuff up here, but then at this point, we're no good, we're no good, we're no earthly good, like the best of us is no damn good. All right, so on those lines, the rest of you are moving up to meet those three that were here. Okay. So like the best of us is no damn good. So by the time you end that line, we should all be in a group up here, but all facing out. So at this point, you're singing out to the audience. We're no good, we're no good, we're no earthly good, like the best of us is no damn good. So you've moved up. You're in a group facing out. All right, so this next section, the trouble is he's crazy. The trouble is he drinks. The trouble is he's lazy. The trouble is he stinks. All right, so action is going to be in the middle. Now, the first one to say something is Diesel. The trouble is he's crazy. All right, so what you're going to do, Diesel, on that line is you're going to fake smacking him in the back of the head. The trouble is he's crazy. Then Arab does the trouble is he drinks. You're going to do the same thing on the other side. But after you do these little slaps on the back of the head, you're going to run up here to downstage center. Okay. The trouble is he's crazy. Smack. Run up to downstage center. The trouble is he drinks. Smack. Upstage center, or excuse me, downstage center. Baby John does the same thing. The trouble is he's lazy. Now I'm going to change these next three lines to make this work. Snowboy, you're going to say Diesel's line there. The trouble is he stinks, and do the same thing and run up to downstage center. And then Baby John, or excuse me, Big Deal, you're going to say the trouble is he's growing. Smack him and then move up to downstage center with the rest of them. And then Action, you're going to say that line, the trouble is he's grown, but instead you're going to say the trouble is I'm grown. And then you're going to run up to meet them. Kropke, we got troubles of our own. Now you're all together up here, downstage center in a group. We've got everyone up there at this point. And these are the positions that I want you in. Okay, I want Arab here. I want Diesel here. I want Action here. Snowboy here. Big Deal here. And then Baby John here. Okay. So by the time you all say that line, Kropke, we've got troubles of our own. All right, good so far? Do you guys need to, you need a moment to catch up? All right, good. Now, the next part, Key Officer Krupke. I want, hang on. So I want Action and Diesel to stay standing, but the rest of you, I want you to run in front of them from either side, right? And now you're in a line in front of Action and Snowboy on your knees. Gee, Officer Krupke, we're down on our knees. Because no one wants a fellow with the social disease. At some point, I'm not 100% convinced on my decision here, but what I'm going to say right now is what I want you to do, and then I might change that later. On your line, we're down on our knees. So you're on your knees in front of Action and Snowboy. I want everyone to kind of make a counterclockwise like sway. Officer Krupke, we're down on our knees because no one wants a fellow with a social disease. I mean, I want it big to kind of illustrate your exasperation, I guess, with this. Because no one wants a fellow with a social disease. Gee, Officer Krupke, what are we to do? All right, so then on that line, Gee, Officer Krupke, what are we to do? At that point, you are all going to run back down to center lot. Gee, Officer Krupke, what are we to do? Gee, okay, so you need to be down there by do. Hopefully that's enough time. Gee, Officer Krupke, Krupp you, right? So you're singing do kind of in a, you know, you're all facing out toward the audience. What are we to do? Gee, Officer Krupke, spin. And then I want you to, on Krupke, all turn to face where Krupke exited. So now you're all facing like up this way. What are we to do? Wait a second, sorry. Give me a second. I'm gonna change something, sorry. So what are we to do? So you're continuing to sing that out. And then on that line, Gee, Officer Krupke, that's when I want you to turn and face up there. So everyone from where you are, you're turning left counterclockwise on Gee, Officer Krupke. And then on Krupp you, you're gonna kind of give him the bird. So Gee, Officer Krupke, Krupp you. So I want it to be on you, not Krupp you. I want it, Gee, Officer Krupke, Krupp you. And we're all going to do that at the same time, obviously. All right, so how do we feel about this so far? Good. Oh, I wish we could run through this song with people singing, but it just won't work on Zoom. So we're gonna have to wait. But for those of you singing, make sure you have this down and ready to go and practice, rehearsed before we get in person. So so we can work on getting the staging and the timing and everything right. All right. Any questions about that blocking for the song before we move on? Kobe?
So in that end position, are we like kind of in this like same position as when we first ran upstage? When we're in that like kind of view at the end?
Oh, good question. Yeah, roughly. It doesn't have to be exact. But pretty much it's gonna end up that way because you're all gonna kind of be running at the same pace, and then you're gonna end up. Yeah, so I would say yeah, pretty much in the same position that you were. Good question.
Okay. I also have a question.
Yeah.
Just for clarification, so we look up on the G, Officer Krupke. Do we look back to the audience on the beat before Krupp you, or are we doing all of the ending towards upstage left?
No. So pretend you guys are the audience and I'm you. Okay. So it'll be what are we to do? G, Officer Krupke, crop you. So it's kind of just a slow turn left on G, Officer Krupke. I might change that. Just FYI, I'm not sure I'm not sure if I like that enough. So, but for now, yeah, that's what it'll be. All right, so now anybody's comes in. So you are all still there in the same place. Welcome, Laura.
Hello.
Laura, is it Laura? Do you prefer Laura Leo or just Laura?
I don't care. Laura.
Okay. All right. Just want to make sure. So at this point, we end the song. We'll have a bit of applause. I don't know how. But yeah, something like that. Lights flashing, maybe. Anybody's just gonna run in from lot right. So again, you guys are all here. Anybody's is gonna run in from here. Meet the guys. Buddy boys, I'll go wear a skirt. I got scabby knees. Listen, okay, so at that point, Action says, come on, we got to make sure those PRs know we're on top. So Action's going to lead the group past anybody's, okay? And the rest of you are going to follow him, which leaves anybody's trailing in the back. Let me zoom in again. All right, so you guys were here in the middle. Anybody's comes in this way. Action on his line, come on, we got to make sure those PRs know we're on top. He's going to lead the group. Anybody's is going to be at the end of that now, and anybody's going to, oh no, and then Big Deal says, geez, Action, ain't we had enough? And then anybody's, as it says, going after them. What a bunch of old man rivers. They don't know nothing and they don't say nothing. At this point, Action's going to stop the group, and everyone's going to stop behind him. Big Deal. The question ain't whether we had enough. And then anybody's is going to kind of interrupt that line and run from the back to stage right of Action to say that next line. The question is, where's Tony and what party is looking for him? Okay. And Action says, what do you know? Yes. So action says, what do you know? And then anybody's just going to start off towards lot left. Like, I know something, but you're going to have to work to find out. I know I got to get a skirt, and then starts off Diesel. I don't know if I want you to. I don't know if I want you to follow the stage notes there. Action's line is enough to get anybody's to stop. Come on, anybody's, tell me. What's that freak know? And then anybody stops downstage. Okay, so at this point, we have action here with the rest of the group behind him. Anybody's has moved this way. And then on, so action says, come on, anybody's, tell me. What's that freak know? And then anybody's is going to stop right about here. You're faced away, Laura. You're going to be kind of faced away from them. They're up here. You're over here. I want you to kind of have your arms crossed, like delivering this line away from them, like out toward the audience. I figured somebody ought to infiltrate the PR territory and spy around. I'm very big with shadows, you know? I can slip in and out of them like wind through vents. Boy, she is ever making the most of it. You bet you're at Fat A I am. All right, and on that line, Laura, what you can do, you bet your fat A I am, you can turn around and go towards him, like, you know, you're gonna stop it or whatever. So you'll gesture toward them, this group, and then action here says, go on, what do you hear? And then anybody's just gonna run back to action in front of him, or kind of more like stage right of him. I heard Chino telling Shark something about Tony and Bernardo's sister, and then Chino said, if it's the last thing I do, I'm going to get Tony. What did I tell you? Those PRs won't stop. Easy action. It's bad enough now. Yeah. You forgetting? Tony came through for us, Jets. We got to find him and protect him from Chino. All right. So now, I mean, at this point with these lines, you guys are kind of in a group here having this conversation. Now, not the problem, but what the interesting thing to figure out in terms of how it's going to feel is this scene is taking place kind of in the round down here. So we have action and anybody's talking here. We have the rest of the guys behind action. So I don't necessarily want everyone closing off one part of the audience or the other. So we can kind of deliver these lines in just like how you would in a normal group. Like you can turn to each other, you can, you know, whatever. Nothing has to be like cheated one way or the other, is basically what I'm saying. All right, so action says, you forgetting Tony came through for us, Jets. We got to find him and protect him from Chino. Right. Okay, then. Snowboy, cover the river. All right. So Snowboy at that point is going to run off, and you're going to exit this way, a lot left, Snowboy. Then action says, Arab, get over the docks. Arab's going to run off lot right. So you're going to take off this way. Arab. Diesel says, I'll take back the alleys. All right. So Diesel says, I'll take back the alleys. And he, along with Baby John, are going to run up this way and exit upstage center. Action says, Big Deal. Big Deal says, I'll cover the park. And then Big Deal, you're going to run off lot left. Action says, good boy. And then start to run off action. You're going to start to run off lot right that way. And then anybody's is going to be left alone and then say, what about me? And then action stops, turns back around. You get a hold of the girls and send them out as liaison runners, so we'll know who's found Tony. Well, so we'll know who's found Tony where. Right. And then anybody's just gonna run off that way. Lot left. And then action kind of watches for runoff lot left, but before oh, hang on. Oh yeah, so action says, hey. She stops. You done good, buddy boy. She stops and then says, thanks, Daddy-O. So I don't want you guys to get like too far away from one another. But you have this moment after action says, hey. And anybody's turns to face him. You done good, buddy boy. Thanks, Daddy-O. They give each other a look and then run off their respective ways. That makes sense? All right. So I want to back up to the beginning of the song. I'm going to play the music and you guys can like quietly like hum along to the music and maybe just, I mean, if you want to mute yourself, you can sing along. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of talk us through what's happening in the music at that point. Just so you get a sense of the timing. Okay. And then once the song's over, then we'll just jump right into that scene. So, but however, on the non-singing lines, I do want you guys to say those. So for instance, Arab says, in my opinion, this child don't need to have his head shrunk at all. Juvenile delinquency is purely a social disease. All right, so I want to hear your characters through this, except that Cole isn't here. So, would anyone want to play? Would anyone want to play Cole's part? Is there anybody that can play Arab? At least just his dialogue lines.
I can do it.
Within the song. Gavin, you can do that?
Yeah,
okay.
I got you.
All right, perfect. You'll find that there's plenty of time to deliver these lines. In this music, they give a lot of time between for this dialogue in between. Hey, you! Me, Officer Krupke? Yeah, you. Give me one good reason for not dragging you down to the station house, you punk. Oh, maybe this isn't going to work because I can't really hear it. Maybe there's not as much time as I thought there was. It's when I play it over Zoom, I can't really hear it very well. And that's the problem. So we're not going to get a sense for the timing right now. So instead, let's just try this a cappella, please. You can pick whatever key you want. It doesn't have to be good. All right. So Snowboy, whenever you're ready to start, maybe I'll add my own underscore.
Wait,
yeah, Joseph.
You said you wanted us to do it a cappella, but what about the group stuff? Do you just not want us to sing that?
We'll see how it goes.
Oh, God.
Oh,
Ready?
Ready?
Okay.
Remember,
Hey, you.
Griffin, low voice, like, I'm an adult.
Hey, you.
Trying to play an adult, right?
Yeah. Okay. Hey, you.
me, Officer Krupke.
Yeah, you. Give me one good reason for not dragging you down to the station house, you punk.
Dear kindly Sergeant Krupke, you gotta understand, it's just our bringing upke that gets us out of hand. Our mothers all are junkies, our fathers all are drunks. Golly Moses, naturally we're punks.
The
Officer
We never had the love that every child ought to get.
Yeah.
We know the wink,
Ignore the
wink,
link
we're
once
misunderstood. Deep down inside of us, it's good.
There
Good.
we go.
There is good. There is untapped good. Like inside the worst of us is good. Bum, 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 bum. That was a train wreck, but that's okay. All right, Snowboy, ready, go.
That's a touching good story.
Let me tell it to the world.
Just tell it to the judge.
Dear kindly judge your honor, my parents treat me rough with all their marijuana. They won't give me a puff. They didn't want to have me, but somehow I was had. Leaping lizards, that's why I'm so bad.
Officer Krupke, you're really a square. This boy don't need a judge, he needs an analyst care. It's just his neurosis that ought to be curbed. He's psychologically disturbed.
I'm disturbed.
We're disturbed. We're the most disturbed.
Logically disturbed.
Hear ye, hear ye. In the opinion of this court, this child is depraved on the account that he ain't had a normal home.
I'm depraved on account I'm deprived.
So take him to a head shrinker.
My father is a bastard. My ma's an SOB. My grandpa's always plastered. My grandma pushes tea. My sister wears a mustache. My brother wears a dress. Goodness gracious, that's why I'm a mess.
Yes, Officer Krupke, you're really a slob. This boy don't need a doctor, just a good, honest job. Society's played him a terrible trick, and so sociologically he's sick.
I am sick.
We are
Sociologically sick.
In my opinion, the child don't need to have his head shrunk at all. Juvenile delinquency is purely a social disease.
Hey! I got a social disease.
So take him to a social worker.
Dear kindly social worker, they say go earn a buck, like be a soda jerker, which means like be a schmuck. It's not I'm anti-social, I'm only anti-work. Glorioski, that's why I'm a jerk.
Eek, Officer Krupke, you done it again. This boy don't need a job, he needs a year in the pen. It ain't just a question, I misunderstood. Deep down inside him, he's no good.
I'm no good.
We're no good.
We're no worse.
No worse.
No damn good.
The trouble is he's crazy.
The trouble is he drinks.
The trouble is he's lazy.
The trouble is he stinks.
The trouble is he's growing.
The trouble is I'm grown.
Krupke, we got trouble all around. Officer Krupke, we're down on our knees.
He was down on our knees.
Oh, with the
But
social
no one
disease.
wants a foul
Officer Krupke, what are we to do? Officer Krupke.
Officer Krupke. Krupke.
Applause, applause,
Buddy
applause.
boys.
Go wear a skirt.
Buddy boys.
Go wear a skirt.
I got scabby knees. Hey, listen.
Come on. We gotta make sure those PIs know we're on top.
Jeez, X, name we had enough?
What a bunch of old man rivers. They don't know nothing and they don't say nothing.
Big deal. The question ain't if we've had
The
enough.
question is, where's Tony? And what party's looking for him?
What do
I
you know?
know I gotta get a skirt.
Come on, Andy buddies. Tell me.
What's the freak know?
I figured somebody ought to infiltrate PR territory and spy around. I'm very big with shadows, you know? I can slip in and out of them like wind through a fence.
Boy, is she ever making the most of it.
You bet your fat A I am.
Hold on, what'd you hear?
I heard Chino telling the shark something about Tony and Bernardo's sister. And then Chino said, if it's the last thing I do, I'm gonna get Tony.
What did I tell you? Those PRs won't stop.
Easy action.
It's bad enough now.
Yeah.
You forgetting? Tony came through for us Jets. We gotta find him and protect him from Chino.
Right.
Okay, then Snowboy, cover the river. Arab, get over the docks.
I'll take the back alley.
Big
I'll
deal.
cover the park.
Good boy.
And what about me?
You get a hold of the girls and send them out as liaison runners, so we'll know who found Tony where.
Right.
Hey, you done good, buddy boy.
Thanks, Daddy-O.
Oh, that's sweet. All right. That's good. I mean, the group parts were obviously a wreck, but that's to be expected. But do we all have a good sense of how this will be in terms of staging? Any questions about that? We're good. All right. The only thing I'll say at this point is, you know, one of the things I like most about theater is seeing two very contrasting things. And whenever you can do that in your character, it's really going to make things pop. So this is your, I mean, you guys have these characters, you know, there's Big Deal, there's Action, there's Snowboy, there's, you know, Arab, blah, 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 blah. There's anybody's, there's all of you guys, like you have your characters throughout the show, but in this song, you really get to kind of be something a little bit different. So the bigger you can contrast with your normal character, the better, and yeah, the better that this number is going to be. So come up, you know, work on coming up with something that's really going to kind of pop, if that makes sense. Now, Joseph, you're kind of playing yourself, but you're also you're a caricature of your own self. And I like what you've done, but everybody can be bigger in this. This song is really ridiculous, and it's meant to be. So yeah, keep that in mind, that this can be kind of more over the top than the other numbers. So that's all I will say about that. Good job, everyone. If you don't have any questions, I think we're good for tonight. This is one of the longer rehearsals we've had, and I think we've got the entire show blocked now. So yeah. And then the last thing I'll say before I let you guys go, now I know we have the in-person rehearsals coming up next week and the following week. Now I know that's voluntary, but if you can make it, it really will be helpful for Scott and Ayana on those days next week. If you can, I would absolutely love it. And we'll make it as safe as possible with physical distancing and masks, and it'll really give us a chance to kind of see how this is going to look and sound in real life. So if you can't make it, please do. If you're coming from out of town, if you need a place to stay, you can talk to me or Christine. We can figure something out for you too, if that's the case.